Hey Ben, how you doing? I got your latest post up, and I think this was post last night. I think this was posted Sunday night. Yes, it was. Okay, cool. So I haven't seen this yet. So this is a first. I want to go through the presentation. So let's start. Okay, and let me just real quick pull up some guides. Really interesting. I like it. Love the size. Love the page size. Interesting choice. So that's not too unwieldy at all, really. I mean, it's not tiny, but it's a pretty interesting size. So, based on this page size, I think my main concern, I think, is your type is. I think it's still too big. Um, and I noticed that you didn't print out yet, or you didn't print out. And I get it, Ben. Listen, man, I know you had some issues, and I get it. I know how you feel about what you've done in the last several weeks, and it's cool. I get it, man. I get it. Just don't beat yourself up. Just pick yourself up and move forward. You know what I'm saying? Um, I mean, you're showing grid here. You're showing basically what I've been teaching. I'm not concerned. I feel bad because I think you had a tough time. So let's get to work on this. All right. Love the cover. Interesting, really interesting. The spread, open spread, is I would like to have seen page numbers, but you would have had if you're going straight to your spread, this would be the inside of this, right? Okay, so this would be 2 and 3 then, as opposed to you could put a filler page in there and have you open the cover, open to a blank page, and then start your layout. Okay, the one thing I really think about speaking typographically, it's a problem, is that you're not showing any paragraphs at all. It's all you have here is just a paragraph about this and a paragraph about this. And one of the, if you remember and go back, one of the assignment requirements was that we use text boxes, linked text boxes. So that said, I think that you're a little short on type because if you were to add a couple more paragraphs, I think that it would do a couple of things. Number one, I think it would force you to really consider closing down the size of your type a little bit in order to fit the extra type. It would also force you to make some decisions to show how you're going to demarcate new paragraphs. Is it going to be a space between? Is it going to be an indent? And if so, how many characters deep? That is the main thing that I'm seeing that we covered in the class that's not covered here. So your adherence to the grid and your consistency in your headlines, as well as spacing, is impeccable. So that points to character styles and paragraph styles, and I'm guessing you used them. Amazing job if you did, and you'd be surprised how many didn't. What I mean by that is that you can compose this page without character or paragraph styles, but it's really not a smart way of working. It's like mowing a lawn with a pair of scissors. You know what I mean? It's just, you set up your character styles that way. Boom, that space is consistent every time. Technically, that quote should be hanging. Hanging quotes. Look it up. Quotes. Hanging. Hanging. Means that quote should hang over the edge of the left margin. So good job. I mean, I think that this is really showing what we're looking for. It's really superior to the other work that you've submitted. So we're definitely heading in the right direction. We got some weird rags and probably got too many hyphens that you're using. So you want to check that out. That would really clean these pages up. Like this right margin or this right rag right here, it's creating a really strange pattern. Now you might not see it when you look at it, but your subconscious certainly is seeing these patterns. And those patterns are impeding on the logo, which throws the whole the whole kind of this give and take relationship that this column has with this column. Well, this column's winning because of this weirdness right here. And it should be an equilibrium. But this spacing right here is doing some weird things to the paragraph. So it's almost like, I kind of want to stay away from that a little bit. Now I'm seeing right here that you've got a period here. So I'm guessing that's a new paragraph. And if so, it's not shown by indent or space between. So again, that points back to what I was saying before. There's a widow. There's a widow. Other than that, I think you're looking really good. I hope you've got the grid down. It definitely looks like it, definitely. A little close right there. That's too big because you're too close to your type right there. And that's just kind of a weird, like a kind of this weird relationship going on between this and this. So I think, keep in mind, you always want to align something with something in page composition. Something should always be aligned with something. So, for instance, this should be aligned with something. I mean, is it aligned with that baseline? Close, but not quite. But I would say if you're going to align anything, it would be to that baseline, or even better, making sure that you align to a very powerful area in the logo. That baseline may be aligned with that baseline. Improve the mechanics of that page. So remember, always things should always align with something. Until you're really good at page construction and page mechanics, make sure everything on your page aligns with something. Okay, the bottom of that should align with the bottom of that. The top of this should align with, I would say, the top of your type or the bottom of your head. But not just out there. You see how things are just kind of straying? Like that's not really aligning with anything. And it should. It really should. It'll clean up the page tremendously. Try it. You'll see what I mean. All right. Awesome job. Thank you very much. I noticed you didn't shoot. So there will be a slight deduction there. Sorry, it's out of my hands. But all right. Hey, man, listen, the class is over. Yes, but I'm not. So I'm here. I have an open door, always open. Class is over. My door doesn't close. If you need anything in the future, advice, if you need anything, I hope I'm one of the first people you think of. So please feel free to keep my contact information, and I certainly hope that I run into you in another class. Thanks, Ben.